I was in the pits of despair. I was discouraged. I hated everything. My name's Justin Bode. Well, it was about 18 months ago. I heard the words that no husband wants to hear from a wife. That she had been having an affair and that she no longer wanted to continue in a marriage with me. Devastated me, crushed me, broke me down to bare bones, made me question God, made me doubt God. I didn't blame her, I blamed him. And then I slipped into the deepest depression I could possibly even imagine. Had zero sense of self-worth. I contemplated really bad things to myself. I hated, I was angry all the time. I was spiteful. It was a toxic thing for me. I had this poison on the inside that no matter what I tried, no matter who I hung out with, no matter who I was with, it did not matter. I was just not a good person. And then my four heroes came, and they didn't do it at the same time, but Miranda and Ryan Agnew invited me to go to church with them. And I told them no, because I didn't want to do that, because I was still mad. Then Stephen and Christy Lentz invited me to go to church with them. And I told them no, because I was still mad. I didn't want any part of religion at that point, because I thought religion had failed me. They were persistent. They kept asking, and it just so happened they both went to the same church. It was Westside in Lenexa. And I'm a big guy, and I can say no, but Stephen Lentz is a really big guy. And they showed up at my door one day, Stephen and his wife, and they said, "You're going to church with us." And reluctantly, I got in the car. They knew if I drove myself, I wasn't gonna go. I was gonna turn around and come back, so they drove me down there. A song came on, and they started talking about all I need is Jesus. And from that moment on, I don't remember anything from the entire service. I know Dan Sutherland was the pastor, but I can't tell you a thing that he said, because I sat in that chair and bawled like a baby for the entire service. It was just this release. It was this outpouring of every emotion that I had for the past 7 months of my life that had been in utter chaos and ruin. But I felt a renewed sense of where I needed to go next. It brought light to that my relationship with Christ was not what it should be. It was very fractured, it was very broken. I was as far away from him as I possibly could be. And I knew at that moment, with the help of my four heroes, that I needed to get closer to him. And then I was actually at the service where they voted to purchase this place here in Leavenworth. And I thought, well, this is a blessing. I don't have to drive 25 minutes. I can drive 7 minutes and get the same thing. And I've been a member of this church ever since. And as I started to build this and started to become a part of the community here, and started to hear stories from other people and listen to sermons, and I actually started reading my Bible again for the first time since I was a freshman in college way back in the day when I had to for a class. It started to make a little bit more sense of what I needed in my life first before anything else. And so I went out to buy a gift for my son for his mother, and that's when I heard the voice, I guess, for the first time. And it said, "Well, while you're buying that card, why don't you get her card too?" And so I picked up a blank card with some ugly flower on it, because I didn't pay much thought into what the card was. I just picked up a card and went with it. Filling out his part was easy. I just wrote down what he said and let him scribble on it, and he colored it in and he marked all over it. He made it his own, and that was his gift to his mother for Mother's Day. Mine was not so easy to fill out. Mine took some thought, and it took some prayer to fill out, and the thing that kept coming to mind was the very first words that I wrote on the page. And again, I think I was hearing what Jesus was telling me, and the first words I wrote were, "I forgive you." There was a a weight that I'd been carrying around for almost an entire year, or over a year, that was now gone. And I felt free, and I felt like I was whole again. I now have a sense of hope, which is something I did not have. But now that I've surrendered, and now that I have understood and gained a clairvoyance or an understanding that it's not what I want, it's what He wants. And I may not understand it, I may disagree with it, and the ways and the means that He goes about it, but I trust it. And it's that trust that's going to help me continue to get closer to Christ. Thank you for saving me.